Hi there. How are you today? Well, I hope. Felt inspired this morning to talk about moving beyond being bruised and battered. You see, last night I started thinking about how the infamy that entered my life in 2013, and my battle with cancer left me pretty bruised and battered. Kind of something that's a little hard to admit because I always try to fight through, right? I always try to be the guy who puts his head down and does his job. And to some extent, certainly that's what I've done in both those instances. But as I reflect back, I realize that I did come out of all those incidents a little bruised and battered. And I don't have to know you personally to know that while your circumstances are probably highly different than mine, that there's been times in your life when you've been bruised and battered as well, haven't there? Could be by a relationship, a job, a family member, whatever it might be. You've probably been bruised and battered just as much as I have. And what I wanted to offer today is not just exploring that common bond, but just kind of share with you how I moved beyond, I think, being bruised and battered. You know, because the first thing I tried to do, I think, is what a lot of people try to do, right? They try to run away from the problem. Couldn't run away from cancer. I mean, had to go in the chemo chair. But the infamy was something I definitely tried to run away from, tried to distance myself, tried to rebrand myself to a certain degree. And I'm doing that. But at the same time, ultimately, we can't run away, right? I mean, almost every video I make, somebody's going to ask a question about Miss Arias, the trial, or one of my books, or something like that, even though I'm not talking about that particular subject. So running away is just left me tired. And I'm sure you'll find that you can take a look at your life situation and how you try to run away from those things that make you bruised and battered, and how you never really can. So recently I've come to a point where I realize that the best thing that we can do, or the second best thing we can do, is accept it. Accept those things that are bruised and battered as part of our path, as part of our journey. The other thing we can do that I think is the number one thing, and probably going to have to accept it first, is to embrace it. And that's hard, right? It sounds so weird to say I'm going to embrace these things that cause me pain. But those things that cause you pain are really what makes you who you are today. It's really a part of you. Like, I believe that those things, being bruised and battered, makes me stronger. It made me more empathetic to the struggles of others. And there's lots of other things as well. And it may be weird, right? You know, you think about things like cancer and the infamy, to think about embracing those things. But I know that there's some positive side effects, not only in terms of making me stronger, probably in ways I can't understand, but also it makes me stronger in the sense that it gave me the gift of maybe being able to reach out to you and connect with you in a way that I couldn't before. A way maybe that I would have been ignored before had those things not been a part of my life. So I want you to kind of take a look at those things. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but take a look at those things of being bruised and battered and start thinking about the role they played in your journey and the things that they created, the positive things they created, negative and positive as well. And I think by starting to acknowledge those and not run away from those, and maybe even embrace those, as hard as it might seem to digest at this point in your life, I think that's a great way to go. That's been my experience, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. And of course, you know, if you feel like you want help in it with any of this, you can reach out to me. My new website is Unchained Lives. I do a little bit of life coaching for, about 5 or 6 select people that I think I'm a good fit for, to help people move beyond being bruised and battered, redefining their lives, and do what I call, living unchained. So I hope this video is of value to you. I hope you share it. Maybe you reach out to me. And I hope you give some thought to what I have to say. Have an awesome day.